Hi everybody, it is July 27, 2021. I have posted videos, but whether you've seen mine or somebody else's, the massive crowds that came out, hitting the streets, protesting the vaccine passport in France, Macron. It's all passed. France passes controversial vaccine passport law. Doesn't care what the French say, and there were so many. Okay, things are happening at a real accelerated pace now. And, well, many have said, including myself, that August was not going to be fun, and we're just a few days away. So, passed. Unjabbed students face ban as raging Boris Johnson targets vaccine refuseniks. That's right. Well, if you don't get vaccinated, students in the UK, forget about going to your classes. University students will have to be fully vaccinated to attend lectures or stay in halls of residence. Okay. Well, this is another way to mandate that vaccine. Germany, vaccinated will have more freedom as unvaxxed banned from cinemas, restaurants, daily life, entertainment. New measures would make vaccine de facto mandatory. Coercion. This is in gross violation of the Nuremberg Code. Nobody seems to care. Wow. Okay. CDC reverses guidance, will mandate wearing of masks indoors. Wow. All right. I guess they had a media update at 3 p.m. today, and this doctor thinks it's great. Great. An infectious disease specialist at Bellevue in New York. This is the move. It's a move in the right direction. So, I'll spare you the picture of someone that, well, for me, it's just repulsive, despite Fauci's claim that the federal government wouldn't adopt any new, confusing, and unscientific mask or vaccine guidance. CNN reports that federal officials are preparing to announce new nationwide masking guidance after New York City and California ordered public workers to either provide proof of their vaccination status or mask up, while LA has ordered people to wear masks in public once again. The decision is imminent, could arrive as soon as Tuesday today. Did it arrive? Well, to defeat Delta variant, experts recommend doing all the things that didn't work the first time. Oh boy, one lie, boom, you're sunk. You're sunk. Listen to what this guy said today.
Beg your pardon?
Will you require all federal employees to get vaccinated?
That's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Are you concerned that the CDC's new mask guidance could sow confusion?
We have a pandemic because of the unvaccinated, and there's so much enormous confusion. And the more we learn about this virus and the Delta variation, the more we have to be worried and concerned. And then only one thing we know for sure. If those other 100 million people got vaccinated, we'd be in a very different world. So get vaccinated. If you haven't, you're not nearly as smart as I said you are.
Okay, some of these tweets are If you increase the volume, it doesn't come out very clear. But did you hear what he said? It's the unvaccinated. And if you're not vaccinated, well, you're not very smart. And he's considering mandating the vaccine for federal employees. Will Americans do anything? Over 40,000 mostly unvaccinated migrants released by Biden skip out on their ICE appointments. What a surprise. What a surprise. Now, he doesn't seem very concerned about all of the illegal, a whole lot of young, quite fit men coming into the country, unvaccinated. Newsom, listen to this. Here's Governor Newsom.
Is it time, Governor, to bring back a universal mask mandate, regardless of vaccination status there in California?
Look, we don't even have to have that debate if we can just get everybody vaccinated that's not vaccinated, that's refusing to get vaccinated, that's living vaccine-free and impacting the rest of us. It's like drunk drivers. You don't have the right to go out and drink and drive and put everybody else at risk, including your own life at risk.
Talk about masks. Of course, L.A. County has
Drunk drivers. The unvaccinated equated with drunk drivers. That's how dangerous people are that, well, are healthy, don't have a virus, and can't pass it on, but, oh, will this video be taken down because I said that? Who the hell knows? Who cares at this point? Everything is going down really fast. But when you listen to Biden, you listen to this guy, you listen to Cuomo. Listen to this.
And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission. And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm.
That sounds like forcing upon people this shot. We have to knock on those doors. We have to convince people, put them in their cars, drive them, and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission. Wow. Well, it's coming, guys. That mandate is coming. For those of you who may not know, I do have a channel on Odyssey. I will link below. Well, it is linked below. Posted 3 videos today. This one, and this one. And this one, I highly recommend you watch it, circulate it, and circulate it as far and wide as you can. Those who don't circulate this information, and it's not my information, this is a repost of, it's a very powerful video. And it may stop someone from, well, getting in their car with Cuomo. If it doesn't, there's something very wrong with them. But this push, and how vicious now we're hearing these government officials, we're drunk drivers, that's how dangerous we are. Biden, well, if you're not vaccinated, you're not smart. You know, everything now, and it is not just happening in the United States. You know, I hear it in other countries, Australia, the UK. So for those who unfortunately don't have a brain cell working in their brain, they'll begin to get quite vicious as well, because everything is being blamed on the unvaccinated. And then you have that twist that it's the right wing, right? People are going to start getting angry, especially when they start, oh, well, a lockdown is also in consideration, national. They will blame the unvaccinated for what these psychopathic tyrants do. You're not to blame. But, well, we have a problem with our populace in terms of their thinking. And everybody likes to blame someone. So that, unfortunately, is where we're at. But, again, please, this is a very good video, and it may, I don't know, hopefully produce some critical thinking where there has not been any. I don't know if you listen to these press conferences. I can't bear listening to the whole thing all at once, but these clips on Twitter, very telling.
On COVID, Dr. Fauci says we're going in the wrong direction. Whose fault is that?
Well, I would say first what he was referring to is the fact that because there is still a large population of people in this country who are unvaccinated, and we have the most transmissible variant that we've seen since the beginning of the pandemic, that more people are getting sick with COVID. And
it's the unvaccinated. That's whose fault it is. And has anybody asked this woman, could we see some evidence of this Delta variant? Do any reporters ever ask for the evidence? Oh, right, we're supposed to just believe the authority figures. Like children. Well, I'm not a child, and I think many of you are not children. Adults are not children. So, what's going on here? Just believe everything that they say.
Fauci said yesterday that recommending that the vaccinated wear masks is under active consideration. I was wondering, where do things stand with that conversation? And then also COVID-related, considering the administration is not moving at the moment to lift the restrictions on travel because of the Delta variant, is the administration wearing broader recommendations on telling Americans, and I know there are some places like the UK, but don't go?
well, first, I would say for any of these recommendations, we are always going to be guided by our North Star, and that is the CDC and our health and medical experts. So,
okay, that's what I wanted you to hear. The North Star. That's what you keep saying now. The North Star. The FDA and the CDC. Now, Americans really, they have profound respect for these institutions. They've never done the research to find out how corrupt these institutions are. But they're the North Star. That's where the science is. That's where the science is. It's unbelievable.
Does the president favor restrictions for unvaccinated people when it comes to restaurants, museums, concerts?
the president favors using the CDC as his North Star and what the health and medical experts are going to advise on how to save more lives and protect people.
So no, he doesn't think that there should be restrictions on unvaccinated people like some other countries have instituted.
He believes that we should be guided by the science and by the data. And so he will look to his health and medical team to advise on what steps we should take.
Guided by the North Star. Okay. Now, I think most of you know, if not all of you, these questions are approved of beforehand. And some of the questions are for the American public to hear. restrictions on the unvaccinated, it's coming. That'll be, already we are seeing so many private businesses, they want proof of vaccination or test. And in fact, I think, where is it? Here it is. Hundreds of San Francisco bars to require vaccination, negative COVID test to drink indoors. Okay, that is going to begin. There's going to be a wave across the country with private businesses and corporations requiring proof of vaccination or a COVID test. It's unfortunate that we've not really done anything to stop these tyrants, but Americans are just, they're right there with them. So what can you do, huh? I also want to show you here. Governor Newsom panics, pulls kids from summer camp after maskless photo of sun surfaces. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I didn't know. I thought they were all masked. Oh, the liars will lie, right? The camp explicitly tells parents masks will not be enforced. Newsom, who's facing a recall, is playing it off like he had no idea. Well, he did. Newsom. BS. So, this is what Fox News reported. The Newsoms were concerned to see unvaccinated children unmasked indoors at a camp their children began attending yesterday. The kids will no longer be attending the camp. Wow. Another fucked up kid. Well, welcome to America. I'm sure you're going to be loving being at home with Daddy. Maybe you'll go to the office with Daddy. Can you imagine being Newsom's kid? Well, Newsom, his orders, current guidance. Now, guidance is not law. Though many Americans believe that if a government official issues guidance, that it is law. They're required to follow that guidance. This guidance is child abuse. Children's age 2 to 11, masks should be worn during camps for youth sports, and other youth activities, including theater and music performances and band. Youth sports, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, running around with a mask on. Running around with something that prevents you from breathing properly. How many kids older than this age, high school kids, having to wear masks during sports, and they passed out? He doesn't know about this? He'd subject his own kids to this? See the cruelty here? We're in such trouble. Let me just play another Psaki. Just in case you feel that she doesn't care about you, she really does. You ready?
Today, they're changing their guidance. They're changing their advice to the American public, their public health advice, based on evolving data and an evolving historical guidance. That virus. That's exactly what they should be doing.
What is your message to Americans who are feeling whiplash right now? Why should they trust the same group of health officials who just 2 months ago told them they don't have to wear a mask anymore inside?
Because our goal is to save their lives. And our responsibility and the responsibility of public health officials is to continue to provide updated guidance. Today, they're changing their guidance.
I really want to escape all of the insanity. There's no way. Sam Galai, I don't know, an MD on Twitter writes this. I just left the ER. We are officially back to getting crushed by COVID-19. Delta variant is running rampant, and it's much more transmissible than the original virus. 99% of our ICU admits did not receive a vaccine. Virtually all of them wish they had. Do you trust this guy? I don't. Because so many others are tweeting the exact same message. Exact same message. Isn't that interesting? And good for this woman, Hannah. When will your claim we are officially back to getting crushed by COVID-19 be reflected in the data? Sam? Wow. Doesn't look like we're getting crushed. Well, because it worked the first time, they don't have to change anything. Oh, they changed, this variant is called Delta. Okay. But they use the same scripts over and over and over again. How about this? The effect of Black Lives Matter protests on coronavirus cases explained. The cases are increasing, but Black Lives Matter protests may not be to blame. And here's why. Fox News. The attack on the Capitol may have also been a super spreader event. So Black Lives Matter protests, yay, they're fine and safe, and I guess not so much for those insurrectionists. How can Americans believe anything? Here, another one. Research determines protests did not cause spike in coronavirus cases. Wow. Research? Really? Oh, well, then believe that, right? Lawmakers sheltering during Capitol riot may have been exposed to coronavirus. And research, no doubt, will show they had been exposed. It was a super spreading event. Americans don't know they're being lied to. Black Lives Matter protests have not led to a spike in coronavirus. That's CNN. It's all over. 38 Capitol police officers test positive for COVID-19 after Capitol riot. Some are super spreaders. If you happen to be on the wrong team, you are a super spreader. But if you happen to be on that blue team, don't worry. You haven't spread a thing, except a whole lot of lies. Coronavirus surges aren't linked to Black Lives Matter protests. Wednesday, storming of the U.S. Capitol will likely be a surge event. It's pathetic. But it really reflects how pathetic the American people are. Did Floyd protests lead to a virus surge? Here's what we know. My God, an epidemiologist braced for a surge of coronavirus cases, and, well, it didn't come. My God. Did mixing a riot with a pandemic yield a super spreader event? At the Capitol, members of a mob many unmasked, roamed the halls of the Capitol, unmasked. Republicans jammed into secure rooms. The outcome is worrisome to many members of Congress. Don't blame Black Lives Matter protests for the spike in coronavirus cases across the United States. Okay, I won't. I'll listen to mainstream media. Capitol insurrection seems to have caused a super spreader event among lawmakers. Some Republicans refuse to mask up. Well, there's a lot of them. I'll link below to this Libs of TikTok page. But if you can't see that there's very different reporting based on the color of your team, well, you don't have any brain cells working. That's all I can say. Listen to this.
If it doesn't get the show name right, starts right now.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but don't get the vaccine, you can't go to the supermarket. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to the ball game. Don't have the vaccine, can't go to work. You don't have the vaccine, can't come here. No shirt, no shoes, no service. That's where I think we should be right now, because we continue to waste our breath on people who are just not going to change. They're, the circular logic. They just keep going back and saying, well, it's my freedom, it's whatever. I'm free. Well, your kid's not free to give other kids meningitis in schools. You got to take a vaccine to do that. You got to take vaccines in order to be employed. So what is the big deal? And all these people were saying, I don't want to put this stuff in my body. They're out drinking.
What is the big deal? Please, click on the link below and watch this video. What is the big deal? If you haven't seen this one, please. What is the big deal? If you haven't seen this one, there are many videos posted here on my Odyssey channel. What's the big deal? Check out this video. What's the big deal? Check out this video. You want to vaccinate your child? Check out this video. Check out this video. How about, well, let's see, this video. And this video. This video. This video. Or how about this video? And this video. Oh, a lot. What's the big deal? You'll learn what the big deal is if you don't know. If you don't know how many have already experienced very serious consequences, then, lack of knowledge can make people dangerous. So the FDA has, on their website, come out with a stop using Innova Medical Group SARS-CoV-2 antigen rapid qualitative test, FDA safety communication. Yes, the performance of the test has not been adequately established, presenting a risk to health. This apparently is an over-the-counter test that you can bring home and test yourself. Well, guess what? The UK government has extended their authorization of the same test. Extended it to August 28. The test apparently reveals a lot of false positives. That's certainly one way to beef up the numbers. Majority of hospitalized COVID patients in UK only tested positive after they were admitted. So we hear, and every country is the same. we're hearing that it is the unvaccinated who are filling up the hospitals. There are some breakthrough cases of the vaccinated, but we're hearing again that the hospitals are overwhelmed with the Delta variant, the COVID cases. Now, didn't we learn something from last year about how these governments are counting all of those cases? Now, cases means nothing. It means nothing. And I could take the test and be positive. So what? You really need to have a clinical diagnosis. You know, you come in, you talk to the doctor. Well, how are you feeling? Feel like I have a fever. I have, this symptom, that symptom. And then they go, sounds like the flu. Let's test you. That's how it's done. But for some reason, with this COVID-19, everything has changed. Let's just test everybody. It doesn't matter if they're symptomatic or not. Oh, that's right, because the asymptomatic, well, studies have shown they don't spread anything. But you gotta keep up that narrative about the asymptomatic spreader. What are we doing here? So, what is the UK doing? They're saying that their hospitals are filling up with COVID patients. Not so. People are coming in for different reasons. Then they're tested. And just like last year, everything, look, heart attack stopped, flu stopped, everything stopped. There was only COVID-19, and everybody had it, even if, they died of a motorcycle accident. Well, they still died of COVID-19. So, it's upsetting that people don't really care to look for the truth in all of this. This is why your numbers are going up. It's called fudging. It's called manipulation. It's lying. So, notice how we aren't even talking about natural immunity. Thank you, Matt. I said in a video yesterday, I think, how come I don't even read it, I don't hear it? That natural immunity? I guess that just went with the flu. They just don't exist. We hear about the unvaccinated, but nobody even asks how many of them are immune from prior infection. How many are just immune? Oh, well, there's so much I could say, but we are on YouTube. It's the American version of China's TikTok. In other words, censorship. Tyrants. Tyrants. I guess there's no way out. So, August should be one hell of a month.